Yes, good morning, my dear students. Yesterday we have started this chapter, a bicycle in good repair. So we were able to do only first part of this chapter. We were able to discuss comprehension check part. Okay, so we will continue. We will continue this chapter from the second part. Okay, so in first part we have come to know that the narrator along with one boy he planned to go for a ride on bicycle. Okay, so during that time when they were planning, so one of that boy came out and he asked about his bicycle that it was working properly or not. So that boy was not known to all the, you can say, details of bicycle. So he simply started, you can say, examining that bicycle, and without knowing so much he took out some parts of the bicycle. You can see that he took out his front wheel, and when narrator went inside he wanted to bring some of the tools, or you can say he wanted to bring toolkit so that repair can be done. But that boy did not wait too long, and he, you can say, took different parts of bicycle like that. And what came out, some of the ball bearings also came from the front wheel. And the narrator, he was so surprised that his bicycle was now found in different small parts. So it was really, so you can say, making him anxious and worried. He became so worried that what happened to his bicycle, because the boy who was sitting outside, he was claiming that he knew so much and he can do this repair work, but actually he was not known to this fact. So such kind of the condition was his bicycle. Okay, now we will start reading second part of the chapter, this one. So now tell me, who is going to read? And one thing more I want to tell you, we are having a reading campaign and so many students are participating in that. They are sending me pics, they are sending me their videos. So whatever is the schedule I have posted in 7th B English group. So bache, you follow up all those instructions, whatever I'm sending in group, you follow that and you be a part of that reading campaign. It will really enhance your reading skills. See, we are reading in class, but this reading is not much sufficient to enhance your reading skills. So if it is a right time, okay, so during this time, whatever the CBSE has started, you should follow, you should participate in that. There is no need that I should force you to participate, because so many students with their wish willingly they have participated in that. I have sent their pics to CBSE, so they were appreciated. Okay, Rivia Gaba, she was also appreciated in that. So you keep on participating in that, and whatever is the next schedule for next week, I have posted in the group. So you can send me pics according to that or videos according to that. Okay, bache. Now let's do reading of second part. Okay. So Aryan, you read. Yes, Aryan. Unmute yourself and start reading.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, read.
Yes, ma'am. And he then said that while he was about it, he would see to the chain for me, and at once began talking of the gear case. I did try to dissuade him from that. I told him what an unexperienced friend of mine once said to me solemnly. If anything goes wrong with your gear case, sell the machine and buy a new one. It becomes cheaper. He said people
Yes, further, read it further. Harman, you continue with the same one. Harmanpreet, you start reading.
He said, yes, ma'am. He said people talk like that, no, who understands nothing but about machines. Nothing is easier than taking off a gear case. I had to confess he was right. In less than 5 minutes, he had a gear case in 2 pieces. lying on the path and was groveling for screws. He said it was always a mystery to him the way screws disappeared. Common sense continued to whisper to me, stop him before he does more mischief. You have a right to. Ma'am, आगे.
It means you don't have books. It means people don't have books. Yes. You have a right to protect your own property
From the ravages of lunatic. Take him by the scruff of the neck and kick him out of the gate. But I am weak when it comes to hurting other people's feeling, and I let him muddle on. He gave up looking for rest of screws. He said screws had a knack of turning up when you least expected them, and that now he would see to the chain. He tightened it till it would not move. Next, he loosened it till it was twice as loose as it was before. Then he said we had better think about getting the front wheel back into its place again.
Okay, now in this reading, what we have come to know, so conversation was going between boy and narrator. Okay, after that, what happened? The author really wanted his friend to put different kind of parts of the bicycle in place, but his friend, he wanted to examine only front wheel. Okay, so we came to know from the first part that front wheel was between his legs. Okay, and he was twiddling it around between his fingers. Okay, and the remaining parts of the, you can say, bicycle, it was lying on the ground. Okay, and bearings were here and there. They have collected near about dozen of ball bearings. Okay, so they collected near about 16 of them and they kept in the head. Okay, after that something new happened. What was that? That the author's friend then took off the gear case. Okay, so gear case is also, you can say, gear box. Write down the meaning of gear case. Gear case is gearbox. So now gearbox was taken by that boy. I did try to dissuade him. Dissuade. Who is that who is talking in between? So bache, write down the meaning of next word, dissuade. Dissuade means he wanted to discourage him. Okay, he did not want to encourage him. He wanted to discourage him not to do this. Okay, because he told him how because he told about his experience that once upon a time his one of experienced friend, he told him, you can say solemnly means seriously. What was told seriously? Okay, he said that if anything goes wrong with your gear case, it means if your gearbox is not working properly, if anything wrong goes to that, you should sell that machine and you should purchase a new one. It means if your bicycle is not in the good condition, you should sell it, and in place of that you should purchase a new one. Okay, so he said, okay, people, those who talk about like this thing, it means they understand nothing about machines. Okay, because nothing is easier than taking off a gear case. Okay, so it was told by that boy. Okay, he said, okay, I have to confess that he was right, that he was ready to confess that yes, he was right on his side. Okay, so in less than 5 minutes, what happened? What was the result? Now his gear case, it was fit into two pieces. It means the boy who was not known to this fact, he splitted that gear case into two pieces, and this gear case was lying on the path, and its screws were, you can say, lying here and there on the floor. Yesterday I have told you the meaning of groveling. Groveling means they were crawling on the road. Okay, so gear pieces were also crawling on the road. They were lying on the ground. Okay, sorry, screws were groveling on the road. Screws was lying on the floor. Okay, and he said, what that boy said, it was so surprising. He said, it is really a mystery. It is really a secret thing that the way screws disappeared. See, suppose if there are screws in your hand, would you keep it on the floor, or would you keep it in a box, or in, you can say, safe area? Tell me. Definitely we would be keeping in a safe place. But that boy, he was keeping it somewhere on the floor, and because of that, those screws were getting disappeared. Okay, so it was a question of common sense. This common sense continued to whisper to me. Whisper means to speak in a low voice. Bache, write down the meaning of whisper. Whisper means to speak in a low voice. Okay, so it was a, you can say, matter of common sense that when you people have such kind of screws, etc., one should keep it very safely in one box or in a safe place. Okay, but when we will be keeping those screws on ground, definitely they would disappear. It means it will be very difficult to collect them. Okay, so there was a common sense which was whispering in a very low voice, stop him before he does any more mischief. So narrator was thinking that now he should do one thing. What thing he should do? He should stop that boy before doing any kind of another mischief. Mischief means another, you can say, naughty thing. He should, you can say, stop him. So, because whose property was that? Whose bicycle was that? Tell me. Whose bicycle was that? Type in chat box. Who was the owner of that bicycle? Narrator, very good. Arshia is the one who has sent me correct answer. Others are sleeping in my class. So I'm asking you, why don't you type in chat box? So whose bicycle was that? It was of narrator. And who was doing experiment with that bicycle? Who was doing experiment with that bicycle? Yes, that boy. Okay, whose property was that? This was narrator's property, and that boy was creating so much nuisance. He was, you can say, spoiling his property, and now he was thinking that he should protect that from the, you can say, ravages from a lunatic. Lunatic, what is the meaning of lunatic? Ravages meaning is given damage, and lunatic is a mad. It means he should not give his property in the hands of a mad person, because that boy was behaving just like a mad person. Suppose there is your bicycle, or any of the person comes and he says, no, it is not in good condition, I just do the repair work, and he started, you can say, breaking it into different parts. Would you allow that person? Tell me, would you allow that person? Only Drishti is saying no, others will allow. Others will allow. Okay, 5-6 students have written no. Okay, so this is a fact. If any of our property is of ours and second person is going to spoil it, definitely we would be angry. We would stop that person. Okay, so there was a common sense which was whispering to him, which was talking to him in a very soft voice, that a narrator should stop that boy before doing any another more mischief. Okay, because he has full right to protect his own property from the damage of a mad person. So he thought that he should take him from the scruff. Scruff of the neck means he should scruff of the neck means, what is the meaning of scruff of the neck? Because he was not listening. That boy was not listening at all. So he thought that he should stop him from the scruff of the neck. What is that scruff of the neck? It means back of the neck. That he should stop him from the back of the neck. Back of the neck. He should stop him from the back of the neck. Okay. He should stop him from back of the neck and he should kick him out of the gate. Okay. Kick him out of the gate. It means kick him out of the gate. It means he should throw him out of the gate. Okay. He should kick him out of the gate. He should throw him out of the gate. Kick him out of the gate, throw him out of the gate. Clear? So these things were coming in his mind, but narrator thinks that he is very much weak, because when he thinks about of hurting others people feelings, okay, it really muddles him down. It really muddles him down, that it really mix up all the things. Okay, because he doesn't think that he should hurt other. Okay, so he gave up this thought that he should you can say snatch him, or he should, you can say, stop him from the back of the neck, and he should kick him, throw him out of the gate. So such kind of things, such kind of mentality things came in his mind, but this was only for a while. Okay, because after that he thought, no, he should start searching about the screws, and he should not do such kind of task with that boy. Okay, so he gave up looking for the rest of the screws. He said screws had a knack of turning up when you least expected them. So you read from there, he gave up looking for the rest. I think Mithul, you read. He gave up looking for them.
Yes, ma'am.
Start reading, beta.
He gave up looking for the rest of the screws. He said screws had a knack of turning up
Yes, read. Keep on reading.
when you least expected them, and that now he would see to the chain. He tightened it till it would not move. Next he loosened it until it was twice as loose as it was before. Then he said we had better think about getting the front wheel back into its place again. I held the fork open and he worried with the wheel at the end of 10 minutes. I suggested he
Yes, keep on reading.
he should hold the fork and that I should handle the wheel, and we changed places. At length we did get the thing into position, and the moment it was in position he burst out laughing. I said, "What's the joke?" He said, "Well, I am an ass." It was the first thing he had said that made me respect him. I asked him what had led him to he led him to the discovery. He said, "We have forgotten the balls." I looked for my hat. It was lying topsy turvy in the middle of the path. He was of a cheerful disposition. He said, "Well, we must put back all we can find and trust to Providence."
Okay. Now, bache, what happens? Now listen the explanation of their passage. So he gave up looking for the rest of the screws. He said screws had a knack of turning up when you least expected them. So that boy, when he was, you can say, searching for the screws, he left that work in between, because he said that when we start searching for the screws, it is really useless, because when we will leave this work, so definitely screws will have a knack. Knack means they will have a skill that they will turn up. It means they will automatically be seen when you don't expect. Now screws are lost, we are not able to find out, but these screws will be found all of a sudden. Now he would see to the chain. Okay, chain is also a part of that bicycle. Okay, so he started making it tight so that it should not move. After that, he loosened it. It was until it was twice as loose as it was before. Okay, now he said now it is a time that we should set the front wheel back. Okay, so he kept the fork open. Okay, and he was so much worried with the wheel, and within at the end of 10 minutes he suggested now he should hold the fork. See, this is the fork. This part of this part is known as fork. Okay, it is fork. Clear? So he, after that, after working on a fork, and he was going to set that wheel in that, he said no, okay, I should handle the wheel and you, they both change the places. Okay, so at length means for a very long time they did this, and they wanted to keep the things into the position. Okay, so when thing was in the position, he started laughing a lot. So narrator said, why are you laughing so much? What happened? So that boy said, I'm an ass, just like a donkey. Okay, so he said, why are you saying that you are just like a donkey? Why it is happening with you? What is the reason behind that? Because he said it was the first thing he had said that made me respect him, because I asked him what had led him to the discovery. He was so surprised that why that person was, you can say, laughing. Okay, so he said, okay, because we are having a hat and we forgot this thing that the balls were inside that hat. Okay. Because all the, you can see, bearing balls which were kept in that hat, it was lying now topsy-turvy. It was lying, you can say, in the middle of the path because of the topsy-turvy. Okay, because of that, you can say, because he was looking for his hat. Okay, and in during that, hat went upside down, and all the, you can say, ball bearing which were kept in that, they were now middle of the path. Okay, so he was of a cheerful disposition. Okay, so he said, well, no problem, we can find out again, and we can, you can say, trust to providence. What is the meaning of providence? Providence means, you just write down here the meaning of these difficult words. Trust. Trust means faith. Okay, and providence. Providence means fate. Fate means, you can say, luck. It means if it is written in their luck, so definitely they will be able to find out. So see, he was keeping so much patience because he was having whole faith on his luck that they will be able to find out all these, you can say, things which were lost. Clear? But you write down the meanings of difficult words also side by side. So finally, what happened? Okay, in that, up to that, we have come to know that the author's friend, he took gear case. Okay, the author was discouraging him again and again not to do that, but he was saying no, no, he will be able to do, because to take out that it is gear case, it is so easy. So he took that off very easily, but when they had to fix it, they were facing lot of problem. Okay, so basically his bicycle was dismantled, divided into different parts which were lying on the ground. Okay, the author, he wanted to stop him, and he knew this thing that he could create another you can say problem afterwards, another trouble afterwards, but author thought here he was weak and he did not want to hurt others. Okay, so finally author's friend tightened the chain of the cycle to that extent that it really stopped moving, that the chain was tightened so tight that it stopped moving. And then when he made it loose, he made it so loose that it was twice as loose as before. Okay, now author, he was becoming so worried, but he was having lots of patience. He tried his level best to fix it again. Okay, now who is going to read this? We found 7. Okay, Rivia, you read. We found 11, we fixed 6.
We found 11. We fixed 6 on one side and 5 on the another. And other half an hour later, when the wheel was in its place again, it need hardly be added that it really did wobble now. A child might have noticed it. He said it would do for the present. I said, watching you do this is of real use to me. It is not only your skill that fascinates me. It is your cherry. Ma'am, it's cherry, na?
Yes, cheery.
It's your cherry confidence in yourself. Your inexplicable hopefulness that does me good. Thus encouraged, he set to the work and refixed the gear case. He stood the bicycle against the house and worked from the offside. Then he stood it against a tree and worked from the onside. Then I held it for him while he lay on the ground with his head between the wheels and worked at it his from below and dropped oil upon himself. Then he took it away from me and doubled himself across it till he lost his balance and slid over to his head.
Okay. You read further also, that I will be explaining.
Then he lost his temper and tried bullying the thing. The bicycle, I was glad to see, showed spirit, and the subsequent proceeding
Degenerated.
degenerated into little else than a rough and tumble fight between him and the machine. One moment another bicycle would be on the gravel path and he on top of it. The next position would be reversed. He on the would be standing flushed with victory, the bicycle firmly fixed between his legs, but his
Okay, we are running
ma'am,
out of time. We are running out of time. I'm going to explain whatever is read up to now. So what was going on? The author's friend applied all his tricks, okay, on the bicycle, and he was feeling satisfied. Okay, he started putting all the parts of the bicycle into back to the places. Okay, it was taking a lot of time for him. Okay, but he had to make very much great efforts. So the process he was taking to refix the parts, okay, that it was showing that author's friend was not having any kind of experience in that field. He was inexperienced. He has never done such kind of repair work at all. Okay, because he was creating a mess. What kind of mess he was creating? First of all, you can say he was able to find out that ball bearing. He set the wheel, okay, and he really, you can say it really hard to be added that it really did wobble now. Okay, so child might have noticed it, but he said it will do for the present. Okay, so but the skills of narrator, it was really attracting him, it was really fascinating him, because he was doing his work with lots of confidence, with cheery confidence. Cheery confidence means he knew that nothing is in proper order, but still he was keeping patience, he was cheerful, and he was having full confidence that on his faith that everything would be, you can say, done in a nice way. Okay, in and he, your inexplicable fullness, inexplicable means that cannot be explained. It means there was hopefulness, but that hopefulness mystery cannot be explained. Okay, so thus encouraged me. He was just doing his work. He was able to refix the gear case. Okay, he was standing against the house and he was working on the offside. Then he was standing on against a tree and he worked from another side. Okay, then he stood for him. Then he was lying on the ground. Okay, he was lying on the ground and his head was between the wheels, and when he was working, the oil from the bicycle, it started dropping down. Okay, he took it away, then he doubled himself. Okay, he was not able to maintain proper balance, and he slid over to his head. After that, he lost his temper and he tried bullying the thing. Okay, so up to that we have done, up to this paragraph we have done. Then he lost his temper. Up from there we will be reading this a day after tomorrow, and I will be explaining to you. Okay, up to that you can read it, you can do thoroughly read, you can read thoroughly this text. Whenever you face any kind of difficulty, you can ask me next class. You find out the details and try to do comprehension check part also. In your next class you should be very much confident about your answers. Okay, बच्चे.